allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is
Champion Eric Bam Bam Brown.
Champion hot. What it do, baby? What it do?
Champion hot.
Pride got reason if they want to
Champion
go.
hot. Champion hot.
I'm gonna feed them if you're coming
What's
for
going on,
me.
Champion hot?
I'm ready for a demon. I got eyes in the back of my head. I'm seeing. Take me for granted, and you know I'm leaving. I'ma take what's mine with the webs I'm weaving. I could take this crowd from seeing to believing. Got a taste for blood, and my tongue keeps bleeding from the words I spit. So sharp, so freezing, so cold. Behold, frostbite they feeling. I could tear you apart, or I could go heal them. Don't believe.
Alright, thank you for joining me for another episode of Cooking with the Champ. Alright, what we're doing tonight, real easy, again, real simple. We're doing scalloped potatoes. Alright, now we're gonna accompany that, okay, with baked tenderloins and green beans, but we're just gonna concentrate on our main dish, which is gonna be the scalloped potatoes. So let me show you what I got.
Okay, pause. Correction, do not use the Velveeta cheese. It makes your scalloped potatoes too thick. Do not use Velveeta cheese. Disregard that. Do not use that. Okay, let's go.
Alright, so what we got here is, of course, our half and half, our potatoes. Alright, I'm gonna use red onions. I think it's gonna just give it a better taste. Alright, we have our mozzarella. Alright, we have our mild cheddar. Okay, our butter, of course, no salt. Alright, we've got our garlic herb. Okay, our garlic seasoning, and of course, we're gonna go with our Level Up A seasoning. Shout out to Smoking and Grilling with AB. Alright, let me show you. We're gonna do this real quick.
Okay, so to your pan, you're gonna add 3 tablespoons of butter and 3 tablespoons to half a cup of flour. Now you're gonna stir this flour in. You're gonna let this flour cook off into this butter sauce. Okay, so it doesn't take long. I mean, you can give it 1.5 to 2 minutes. Just make sure that your flour completely dissolves. Okay, before you start adding the other ingredients. Right, you're gonna add also a little bit of dried thyme, okay, and of course you're gonna add your Creole seasoning, whatever Creole seasoning you like to use. I prefer to use Slap Your Mama, but whatever type of seasoning you want to use, you can add that as well. And of course, also you're gonna add your 2 cups of milk, and show you here how this sauce is going to be nice and smooth here in a sec. Okay, now there are a couple of ways you can do this. All right, with your onions, you can slice them. Okay, like you saw earlier. All right, saute them and lay them whole into your pan. All right, what I like to do is I like to dice mine up. All right, with a little seasoning, of course, and some W sauce. All right, and you'll see how I layer them using with them chopped up. I just think that it mixes in better doing it this way, but you know, if you prefer to leave your onions whole, you can do that as well. I just prefer to do mine this way. Okay, so if you see here, this is how you want your cream sauce to look. All right, you want it while you're mixing your ingredients, as you see here. All right, you also want to go ahead and make sure that you turn your flame to either low or off. All right. you don't want it to overcook. All right, and if it's a little too thick, just add a little bit more milk to give it a more smoother texture. Okay, so let's go ahead and layer our scalloped potatoes here. First thing we're gonna do is we're gonna oil our pan. All right, now I'm using a cast iron skillet. You can use a casserole pan or something like that. But I prefer to use a cast iron only because it just holds heat better. All right, and depending on your stove, it really determines how long you leave it in there. With the cast iron, because it holds heat so well, you know, it really cuts down on the time that I have to leave the scallops in the oven. All right, so you want to do is go ahead and layer the first layer just with the cheese sauce, not thick, just a light layer, you know, but you want to make sure that it's spread over the entire bottom of your skillet or your pan, okay, but not a thick coat, just a thin coat. All right, what you're going to do is you're going to come back and go over the top of this with your potatoes. Now, when you're layering your potatoes, you want to be sure that you offset them. If you're going to layer them on top of one another, you don't want to lay them directly on top. You want to offset them so that they cook evenly. And as you see, I'm going to start from the outer and work my way in. All right, and we're done. So let's go ahead and get it plated up and ready for our taste test.
Okay, and here we go with the taste test. All right, and there we go with the thumbs up. And there you have it. All right, and there you have it. Scalloped potatoes, real quick, real easy, about 40 minute preparation. You want to leave it in the oven for about an hour and a half, depending on your oven. All right, and not only do I need you to like the video, but I need you to share and subscribe, and I'll see you next week.